Hello, this is Nikisha Ware with DNSA, where we help you create income off the clock. So I am so glad and thankful that you're here to join me, whether you're a business owner, a consultant, or an entrepreneur. I'm here to serve you and to give you tip number 2 on how to just maximize and boost your business. So you remember from the previous video, bring it back up. First tip was to simply ask. Ask for what you want, ask clearly. Ask confidently, consistently, creatively, and of course, ask sincerely. So today, the second thing you need to do is to just ask and remember your genius. You see that? You can pause that, write that down, because that's what we're going to talk about today. Focusing your time and your efforts on your genius. So most people don't get ahead financially, people, because they continually let the good get in the way of the best. So recognizing that bad ways, of course, we all know those bad ways that waste our time, those time wasters, and they're easy to identify, they're easy to target, and if most of us are mature enough in the business to say no to those, but it's those good things that really trip us up. And after all, they're good. That's why we have an issue with spending a lot of time on it. So it's not that they're bad. They are very good, but they should not be where we spend our precious time. And well, why wouldn't we want to invest with those things? Because they're good, but it's not where we want to spend our precious time. So let's look at it another way. If you could invest your money and receive a 15% return on your investment, of course, you do it, right? Well, what if there was something that you could do that you could actually get a 15, 20, 25, 50, even 500% return on it? You would start investing your time there. Well, see, that's the distinction that we're talking about. The difference between being good and great, okay, and being the best. Finding your genius and spending your precious time investing it there. Cutting off my phone. So let's focus our time and efforts on your genius. And that's, of course, the work that's going to give you the greater dividend. So what is getting in the way of you focusing on your genius and what you can do about it? First thing, I'm going to put my little card back up here. First, you need to identify what your genius is if you haven't already. So for most people, their genius is tied to their motivation for wanting to be an entrepreneur. It is something that comes naturally to you. It's what you do exceptionally well, better than all the rest, and you actually lose yourself in doing whatever this is. It's your mojo. So that's the first thing you need to do. Identify what that genius is. Now, once you've identified what that genius is, then you need to begin proactively scheduling time to be with it, to perform it. And if you haven't done that, you literally need to schedule that time around that thing that you do that sets you apart above the crowd, that makes you the cream of the crop, and make sure it gets done. Otherwise, if it's not scheduled and it's not scheduled at a time that you can give it, then I promise you, everything else will show up and your attention will be deferred to your genius, and anything that comes up that day will take the time. So you'll deal with whatever shows up. Now, the last thing is that identify what that genius is, schedule that time, and anything else that is not your genius, even though it may be a great income producing activity, outsource it. Delegate it for someone else. For example, you might be the best person at creating spreadsheets. I know I would spend tons and tons of time that I did not need to invest with building spreadsheets, making sure my icons and my wording was just right. That type, that was me. But if I could delegate that to somebody or hire somebody who would do it for $20 an hour, then guess what? I can increase my monthly revenue by 50% just by rolling that activity out to somebody else. So what if you're great at bookkeeping? Maybe that was what your first career was, but now you are the president or the owner, or you're over marketing for your company. The good rule of thumb is that anything below your hourly rate give it to somebody else to do. And that'll allow you to invest that time, precious time, in working on your genius, which is why you went into business. So you could give your work to the world, so you can what? Live a life of contribution. So eventually what you'll find is number 3, that you're going to find that you're going to follow that 80-20 rule. You're going to spend 80% of your time on those 20% of the causes that really drive you. So that principle states that roughly 80% of your results will come from 20% of the causes. That means that 80% of your success will come from 20% of your activities. So spend that 80% of your genius time on the activities, and your business, your success will blossom. So once again, identify what your genius is. It's not just the good. Good things are great, but we want to be the best in our business. So what are those things that you can spend your time on that's going to give you the best business, that's going to put you out there, give you your mojo, allow you to just flow. And don't you love it when you can just flow in what you're doing, get lost, and you lose all concept of time and space? You want to do that. And then hire anybody else to do that thing that is a good thing, but not necessarily needs to take your precious time. And make an appointment. Protect that time. If all you have that week is 23 hours to do that, protect those hours. Schedule it in. Make a date with yourself. Treat this appointment just as you would if one of your best clients. Be on time and give it your undivided attention. So I hope that nugget has been great for you, that you can use it. Remember how to boost your business. Tip 1, simply ask. And 2, find your mojo, identify that genius, and give it the time that it deserves. So thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on our next video on how we can help you create income around the clock.